Friends, my name is Ravi Singh and I am going to speak on the topic Indo-Russia relations. So when we talk about geopolitics, then there are no permanent friends, there are no permanent enemies. But when we talk about Russia, then Russia has always been one of the key pillars of India's foreign policy. And both the countries, they consider each other as their time-tested friends. And Russia is one of the few first countries who came forward to invest in India's heavy industries after the independence, and it also played a key role in the setting up of some prestigious institutions like the IIT in the country. So that's why it has always stood beside India whenever India needed it. Apart from this, Russia also played a key role in the India's defense since the starting, when it agreed for the transfer of technology for the jets like the MiG-21 in the year 1962, and it also came forward to mediate between India and Pakistan during the 1965 conflict. Apart from this, India also returned the favor in the year 1990 during the USSR's tough time and its dissolution, when India provided loan on technical credit and also provided the free wheat of worth 20,000 ton to USSR at that time. And when we look at India's defense today, then about 60% of India's military equipments, are of Russian origin, and today India is heavily dependent on Russia for the spare parts and the servicing. But even after all these things, the bilateral trade between both the countries, it is limited to about 10 to 11 billion dollars. But again, both the countries are working in the direction to increase this trade to 30 billion dollars by the year 2025. And apart from this, both the countries, they collaborate and cooperate on the platforms and the forums like the WTO, IMF, MTCR, then BRICS, SCO, and also both the countries have collaborated in the defense as well, when both the countries jointly developed the BrahMos, which is the world's fastest supersonic cruise missile. But in the past few years, there have been several bone of contention between both the countries. For example, the inclination of Russia towards Pakistan when it agreed to deliver the Mi-35 attack helicopters to the Pakistan army. At the same time, India has also been close to the Russian enemy, which is the USA. But today, it is time for both the countries to revitalize and boost their diplomatic relations. For this, first both the countries need to again collaborate in the field of defense by doing it similarly like in the case of the BrahMos 2, which is going to be a hypersonic cruise missile. Apart from this, it is necessary for India to ensure that the bilateral trade between both the countries, it increases to about 50 to 60 billion dollars in the coming decade, so that it can reduce the dependence of Russia over China for its bilateral trade. Because if a superpower like Russia becomes dependent on China, then it will be disastrous for India. Thank you.